What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. In the last episode, we finished up Chapter 4, then returned to Rogueport. In this episode, well, we need to go to the Thousand Year Door to figure out exactly where the next location of the Crystal Star is, but first, I want to do something else that, is going to take me a long time, but through the magic of editing, will, be just a couple of moments for you guys. Anyways, let's come into this building and check out the bulletin board. Hey, this is your first time to the Trouble Center? Well, indeed it is. If you plan on using our services, I can explain them for you first. Need an explanation? Alright, sure, go ahead, buddy. Then listen and listen good. This Trouble Center is where people come with troubles. That's why it's named that. Seems logical. If you want to see what kind of troubles people have, check that bulletin board. If you're a nice guy, you'll choose someone and try to help them out. If not, not. Help someone out and they'll give you a reward. Probably. Not a bad deal, eh? But remember, if you decide to not solve a trouble, you have to pay to cancel. You got that? Well, good. Then go help someone out. Alright, well, don't mind if I do. So there's one specific trouble I want to do, and that is this one by question mark, question mark, question mark. It's the elusive badge. So let's go ahead. I'm after an elusive badge. Must explain in person. Meet me on the roof of Zest's house in Rogueport Square. The poster is anonymous. This may be dangerous. Want to take on this trouble? Heck yeah. Do it and do it right. Alright then, so, let's go to the roof of Zest's and figure out who this anonymous poster actually is. I mean, they're after a badge, so really, you should already have an idea of, who the poster might be. But, this is actually for, like, an optional, party member, like, in the game, so, pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, to get to the roof of Zest's, just come into the inn, go out the, top door, and by the way, this is a badge shop. I never actually really went up there, but, you can buy badges there. Hey, it's Miss Mowz, let's talk to her. Hi, Mr. Mustache Cutie. I'm the one with the trouble. I'm a pretty lucky girl to have a strapping fellow like you take on my trouble. Well, let me get right to it, okay? I've done all I can to find this one elusive badge, but I've failed at every turn. The badge is hidden in Hooktail's lair, of that much I'm sure. I went to check that room after I heard you defeated Hooktail, but nothing. I did hear rumors that to find this badge, one has to use the wind. I have no idea what that means, though. Anyway, look for it, okay, sweetie? Alright, you got it, Miss Mowz, so off to Hooktail's castle. I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we finally made it back to Hooktail's castle, and right here in the middle of the boss room is an area that we can just blow away with Flurry, and would you look at that, there's a chest, and inside is the Attack FX B badge. So now let's go back and bring it to Ms. Mowz. I'll see you guys back in Rogueport. Alright, so here we are back in Rogueport. Found your badge. That face, does it mean you found the badge? Indeed. Here you go. Well, this is certainly the badge that I was looking for. Oh my, yes! Now, my sweet, promise to hear me out without getting mad. You see, I was the one who hid that badge. It was a little game of mine. I have to apologize. But I knew you would find it, my handsome cheese hunk. You may have even more badge finding skill than I do. I just thought of something. Perhaps I should just travel with you from now on. Because, I'm sure to find lots of badges that way, don't you think? Now, about that reward, let's see. Take this badge that you managed to find, but I expect you to lead me to more. Alright, so now we officially have the Attack FXB badge, hooray! Now let me formally state that you will now enjoy the pleasure of my company. That's right, guys! Ms. Mowz has joined our party. She's the only optional party member in this entire game. Generally speaking, though, I don't really use her because she's not all that useful, but kinda cool to have. Ms. Mowz's ability, a primer. Press X and Ms. Mowz will sniff out any items or objects hidden nearby. There doesn't seem to be anything in this area, dearie. When you press X, I'll sniff around and tell you if there are any items nearby. There's something right near here, sweetie. If there's something nearby, I'll let you know like I did just now. In battle, I can attack enemies with my Love Slap. I can also help you out by using my Kiss Thief move to steal enemies' items, which is actually pretty useful, I guess. Overall, I would say that Ms. Mowz is a situational character, but we solved the trouble. Hooray! Now Ms. Mowz is permanently a member that we can swap to anytime we want. So we have 2 new party members then, Vivian and Ms. Mowz, and since we do have like 7 shine sprites, what do you say we do the right thing and level up both Ms. Mowz and Vivian just so, you know, they're in line with like everybody else in our party. So hello, Merlin. I need you to do your thing, will you? I guess we'll start with Vivian. This actually gives her a move that like attacks, I think everybody on the field, so it's really helpful, especially going into the next chapter. By the way, you're probably going to want to like make sure everyone's leveled up before you go into the next chapter, since the next chapter has what I would consider to be the first hard boss of the game. And that might seem odd to some of you guys. Like, you might be thinking, the next chapter boss isn't so bad. You know, I've played this game a million times, but it's always given me a rough time. So that's why I would recommend like upgrading everybody and even getting Ms. Mowz if you want to. Although, to be totally honest with you guys, seeing that Ms. Mowz is like the only optional party member, I very rarely actually go out of my way to get her, just because it does take a little while and she doesn't really add a whole lot to your actual team, but I figured I might as well go and get her for this LP. Then you may go. Alright, thank you very much, Merlin. I appreciate your services. Alright, now that that is done, I will meet you guys at the 1,000-year door. And here we are. Yes, it's time for this again. It's like, what, the 5th time we've seen this cutscene now or something like that? I don't know. I mean, it would make sense considering we did it once with 0 crystal stars and now we have our 4th, so I guess it would be our 5th time. I think one benefit to having, like, Ms. Mowz out instead of, like, another party member is that, she talks less than the other party members, I believe, so, at least there won't be as much dialogue, I guess. I have no way to, like, confirm that statement as true. I just, think that it's true from, like, my experience playing this game. Anyways, though, guess what, guys? The next crystal star is on a tropical island. Hooray! I could use a vacation. Ooh, and it's a nice blue crystal star. Sweet! Well, that was painless. So, the location of a crystal star has been recorded on our magical map. Hooray! You know what that means. It's time to talk to Frankly. We must move quickly, love. Let's go to the professor's office quick as a wink. We have to speak to him of Princess Peach's email. Wait, how do you know about that? We just got you in our party. Alright, who's been talking? Got a bunch of rats in our party now. Quite literally, actually.
What? That was written in Princess Peach's email? The legendary treasure is actually the spirit of an ancient demon. And those fiends want to use the power of the crystal star to resurrect it? How bone-chilling. Sadly, it does seem to be consistent with what I've uncovered.
Well, we're waiting, Professor. What did you find out?
This is rather long, so you'd best listen well. Are all of you ready? And you there, in front of the TV, you listen up too.
Hey, don't break the 4th wall. You strange man. What did that mean?
Oh, never you mind. Don't worry about such trivial details. Just listen. The great cataclysm that I read about in that book may well refer to this demon. It says that a monster destroyed a large town that once stood on this very area. It also says that the 7 crystal stars were actually created by this monster. And that this thing used the power of the crystal stars to try and control the world. According to this book, the demon was defeated in the end by 4 heroes. But only the beast's physical form was destroyed. Its spirit could not be eradicated. So the heroes used the crystal stars which they had stolen from the demon. And they cast the evil beast into the depths of a vast maze and sealed the exit. From this, I gather the crystal stars cannot distinguish good from evil. So if they're all united, they can either seal away or resurrect the demon. It seems that who wields the crystal stars determine if they're used for evil or good.
Well, the way I see it, it may be entirely the wrong idea to collect these things. Why, someone could just steal all the crystal stars from us and resurrect that demon. I feel as though the best course of action might be to destroy them utterly.
That was my first thought too, but further research suggests we can't do that. There's a slight possibility that the 1,000-year door is weakening. It seems the crystal stars hold the power to seal the beast for 1,000 years. So once 1,000 years pass, the power to keep the door sealed shut will fail. And unfortunately, this year may be the 1,000th year. Bad luck, huh? The fact that these goons want the stars now may be a coincidence, but maybe not. In other words, we must be ready for the demon's return even if the X-Nauts fail.
Oh my, I suppose we better shake our tails and find the other crystal stars. Tell me, Professor, where is the next one located?
According to the map, it appears to be somewhere on Keelhaul Key.
Keelhaul Key?
I'm none too familiar with the place, but I've heard countless unsavory rumors. You know, the usual stuff. Vengeful spirits full of hatred, evil curses, things like that. I'm sure the sea salt's down by the harbor no more. You should head there first.
Alright, real quick, let's check the trash and get ourselves a title log for the atomic boost. Surprisingly, there is no title log for Dupless, which is kinda weird. Anyways, Frankly says we should go to the port, but we actually don't need to do that. We can skip that entirely and just go and find the one NPC that we do need to talk to. And thankfully, he's here in the bottom floor of the inn. And hey, there's Luigi! You know what, let's actually talk to him first. Well, I headed to Circuit Break Island and got me a marvelous compass piece. Good to hear, my man. You wouldn't believe it, bro. Talk about thrills, chills, and spills. It was pretty nuts, bro. Want to hear what happened? It's a pretty long story. Alright, sure, let's do it. So, the next part of Luigi's marvelous tale is Circuit Break Island. Well, like I said, it's a really long story, but here goes. Just as our boat arrived at Circuit Break Island, we heard this incredible racket. We soon found out that they hold kart races almost every day on the island. Whoever takes first place in the race gets to rule the island as king for that day. Just as we got to the racetrack, they were holding the award ceremony. I couldn't believe my eyes, right there on the trophy they gave to the winner. It was another piece of the marvelous compass. I almost passed dead away. I decided right then and there that the only thing to do was enter the next race. I mean, I've driven in car races before, so I thought I'd be okay. Boy, was I wrong. The cars were supercharged machines that could send you airborne with their exhaust, so it was 200cc. These vehicles were armed with missiles and bazookas. It was anything goes, bro. Of course, I wanted to get right out of there pronto. These drivers were crazed. But I worked up my courage and signed up anyways, and my race day finally came. I got one of the best cars, the big green 01. I took my position at the start line. The light went green, I stomped the accelerator, and something bad happened. I was in reverse. The big green 01 went rocketing backwards with me yelling. I crashed into the wall behind me hard enough to cut me off mid-scream. In one fell swoop, I dropped into last place and wrecked my racing machine. But it wasn't all bad news. All the other cars crashed because of my maneuver. Once I got in gear and took off, I was the only car left. I won by a country mile, bro. I took the piece off my trophy and added it to the marvelous compass. The compass came to life and pointed me towards Jazzafraz Town in the east. Then I heard that voice. Princess Eclair's voice echoed in my ears again. Oh, my princess, random words would form poetry if spoken by your voice. I'll most definitely save you. Just wait for me, Princess Eclair. Oh, sorry about that, bro. So after that, I got back on my boat. And came back here to Rogueport. And that's what's been up with me. Great story, Luigi. Real quick, let's talk to his partner and get the other story. Yeah, I'm Torg, and don't for a second think this dude's telling the whole story. The only reason I lent him my rig was because he got down on his knees and begged. And what happens? He's in it for 1 second before he completely totals it. Idiot. I'm not letting this dip out of my sight until it repays me the 5,000 coin repair cost. Oh man, Luigi, you really screwed yourself on that one. Anyways, here's this weird looking fellow who's singing to himself. What do you say we talk to him? And what do you want, huh? Who, me, you ask about? Ah, I'm called Flavio. I am, how you say, a trader, the richest man in Rogueport. Monetary wealth gives me freedom, yes, and freedom gives me wealth of spirit. And yet, why is that a man whose life is unchained must always long for yet more? Ah. What is missing from my life? This tears at my very insides. I must know. What do I lack? Romance, emotion, thrills, money. I don't really know, man. Romance, sure. Romance, you say? I suppose one does need some romance in life. What other sweet, delectable fruit can make so many wonderful pasta sauces? Ah, no, foolish Flavio. Not romance, you silly man. What I need is romance. Wait, hold the horses. That is it. Now that I'm thinking of it, I once heard of the treasure of Cortez, the Pirate King. Yes, this is the answer. Oh, such happiness for me. A hunt for pirate treasure. Why, that just shrieks of romance and thrills and emotion and even money. Do you not know the tale? The Pirate King's treasure, hidden on Keelhaul Key? Ah, well, tales say that the Pirate King Cortez hid his hoard of pirate booty there. For years, treasure hunters and ruffians have gone there in search of the loot. But not a single one of them has ever returned. Oh, the horror makes my back tingle. People here whisper that the ghost of Cortez attacks all who seek his treasure. Eek! It is because of those very rumors that people no longer go to Keelhaul Key. But that will not stop Flavio. That treasure is there, yes, and I'm going to prove it. For I'm Flavio, trader extraordinaire, millionaire sailor of the 7 seas. What is that you are saying? You're also looking for a treasure here in Rogueport? Why talk such craziness? There isn't anything like that in this dull armpit of a town. You cannot be believing each stupid rumor about treasure some street urchin spews out. No. Now what madness comes bursting from your mouth? You have a treasure map? Well, hand it over. Rather, show me. Alright, here you go. You are having a joke on me. This map leads straight to Keelhaul Key. You swine! You mean to steal my treasure out from under me, you awful man! Well, now I am confused. You are looking for things known as crystal stars?
Oh, yeah.
But now that I am thinking, a star-shaped stone was said to be in Cortez's hoard. Perhaps I could sell it for a staggering amount of cash. Yes, that would be... Ah! Stop such thoughts, Flavio! What you need is romance, thrills, and emotion! I cannot ignore what this business before me suggests. This must be fated work. Flavio shall go with you to Keelhaul Key. Of course, the crystal star is yours, yes, but the rest of the treasure is mine. That sounds good to me. Huh? You must repeat that. Flavio's ears are plugged. You have no ship. Ha 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 ha! You unfortunate foolish man! Do you not know who I am? I will have a ship ready in no time, and it will be massive and glorious! Splendid! Let us begin preparations immediately, shall we? I will volunteer myself as our intrepid leader. Yes, and you will be captain. Ah, danger and adventure tickles my nostrils. Come to the harbor right away. Alright, looks like we got our way to Keelhaul Key, so let's go to the harbor, guys. I'll see you guys there. Well, ain't that a fancy-looking ship? Alright, nice job, Flavio. Ah, yes, so it is you. Ah, well, sadly, a slight problem seems to have popped up. But feast your eyes on this outrageously fantastic ship. She's a fine vessel, no? She is the SS Flavion, the queen of the countless ships in my personal fleet. The raw majesty of her hull, the pomp and circumstance, none can compare to her. Ah, behold the elegant curve of her prow. She cuts to the very soul, don't you agree? But she is not just a beauty. She's a savage beast on the waters, tops among sailboats. But above all, I tell you, this proud ship can... Ah, yes, did you speak? Yes, of course, the problem that has sprung up. I had completely forgotten about this. The SS Flavion, she bewitches me. Yes, well, here is the issue. We have no navigator. He ran off, the dog. The navigator, of course, is the highest-ranked helmsman. They steer ships, you know. Now, here's the real problem. The waters around Keelhaul Key are deathly dangerous. We need an absurdly skilled helmsman for our navigator. It is, how you say, a pickle.
Oi, Flavio! Who are you talking there, sir? If you don't mind me saying, I might have a solution.
Do not tease me, Papatch. You can solve our problem, then spit it out already.
Well, sir, I've heard talk of a famed, no, a legendary sailor living in Rogueport. Yeah, I think he's called Admiral Bobbery, a salty old sea dog by all accounts. But he's said to have the helmsman touched her. He can make any ship bow to his will. Thing is, there ain't a soul what's seen him on the seas of late.
Bossa boom, problem solved. Let us scout out this Bobbery fellow and get him on board. As is customary, my captain will handle all negotiations. That would be you, Mario. That does sound fair to everyone, does it not? No complaints. Aye, aye, sir. Aye, aye, aye. Sounds fair, sir. Good plan. I'm on board. Sure thing. Then it's decided. You must find this Bobbery and bring him here. Our fortune sails with you. Alright, let's go look for Bobbery. Luckily, I know where he is, so I'll see you guys there. So yeah, what you want to do is go back on top of the roofs and turn into a paper roll and go right down this chimney where we found the star piece behind it a while ago.
What do you blokes want?
We're looking for a helmsman.
You seek Admiral Bobbery? Never heard of the gent. Take your search elsewhere. Now away with you.
Well, that's a dang shame. I guess that's not Bobbery. Maybe we should go and talk to Professor Frankly. He might know something. Yo, Frankly.
Bobbery. That old sea dog lives in the east side house right next door. They say he was a great and important sailor long ago.
Well, if that's the case, then that bomb we just saw was most definitely Bobbery. Alright, we know who you really are, sir. But first, before we talk to you, let's head inside his room and get ourselves this lovely Shine Sprite. Almost forgot to pick that up. Alright, now we're free to talk to him. Admiral Bobbery? I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Now, if you please. Drop the axe, Superstash. We already found out that you're Admiral Bobbery.
Humph, what poppycock?
Tell me, what would you want with me if I were this chap? You say your ship needs a navigator, and you want me to do the job, So sorry, but you'll have to look elsewhere. I shall set sail upon the sea nevermore. But that's just not cool. You want to see me beg or something? Is that it? You have to come along. Only you can get us safely to Keelhaul Key.
Awfully sorry, dear boy, but when I say no, what I mean is no.
Well, that stinks. There's gotta be, like, something else we can do, though. What's the next move, Chief? That salty dude is going nowhere fast. I can't figure this guy out. What's his beef with the ocean, anyway? Know what we ought to do? Go find someone who knows what this dude's deal is. You know what? That's not a bad idea, Scramble. And whenever you need information, well, there's always one person in town who has all the info you need. Not Frankly, but the bartender. So, let's go inside and talk to this chap. You say Bobbery won't go to sea, huh? Well, can't say that surprises me. The real question is, are you folks really sure you want Bobbery back on the water? Oh, is that it? Now I see. You want to mount an expedition to Keelhaul Key. Rough seas out there. Most sailors would meet their ends. Not old Bobbery, though. The fact of the matter is, Admiral Bobbery's tale is sad. Horribly sad, actually. You'll probably end up crying, but I'll tell it to you, if you really want me to. Alright, do it, man. I can take it. In that case, get ready. Bobbery's tale will go something like this. Bobbery was once married. He had a wife of enduring beauty named Scarlet. The two of them were madly in love, the sort of love reserved for fairy tales. Now, Bobbery was a renowned sailor, so he was away from home for long periods. Scarlet never complained, though, and always waited faithfully for Bobbery's return. And Bobbery, his eyes never drifted. He loved only Scarlet truly and deeply. So they lived and found happiness where they could, and all was good for a time. But not all good things can last. It was a particularly icy winter when it happened. Scarlet fell ill. A virus, a passing cold? No one knew, but it soon turned serious. Bobbery at sea on a long, lonely voyage knew nothing of his bride's suffering. By the time he returned, Scarlet had succumbed. She was gone. Bobbery, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. If I were not at sea, I could have nursed her to health. I could have saved her. He was overcome with such thoughts. They tormented him always, haunting his sleep. He has never gone out to sea since. Gee, what a downer. I guess that's a pretty good reason for hating the ocean. You all know his tale now, so tell me, do you still want him to return to the sea? Yeah, we kinda have no choice in the matter. Very well, I understand. If you're that determined, then I'll give you this. Alright, we got no letter from Scarlet. On her deathbed, Scarlet wrote Bobbery a final letter. You hold it in your hands. I don't know what's written inside, but I can tell you what she told me as she lay dying. If I should succumb to this plague, and if my love should blame himself for my death, then give this letter to him, so he may hear my voice. It was her last request. But when I saw Bobbery in misery, trying to forget the pain as he mourned his wife, I just couldn't bring myself to present this letter to him. I have regretted it ever since. Please, take this letter and do the deed I was too cowardly to do. Take it to Bobbery. Listen, Podley, thanks a ton. We'll deliver this thing. You feel better, okay? Let's roll, Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's do this thing. Also, Podley, you are like the worst person ever. When someone gives you a last request on their deathbed, you freaking do it, my man. You don't just be like, oh, you know, I didn't have the courage to deliver the final words of someone's loved one to them. Like, talk about jerk of the year right there.
What? Oh, by Blabberton's beard, not you again! No matter how many times you entreat me, my stance is firm. Now away with you. Pardon? A letter, you say? For me? What? Scarlet! This is Scarlet's handwriting! Scarlet, my love.
My love, if you're reading this letter, then I am no longer by your side. Because fate has stepped between us, I have decided to write you this letter. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out at sea. I can only assume that you will blame yourself for it, my sweet Bobbery. Although my life was short, you gave me more than a lifetime's worth of joy. Though you will mourn, I beg that you remember that time, like love, is a tide. You are one with the sea, as you are one with me. Do not lose both of your life's loves.
Time like love is a tide. You are one with the sea, as you are one with me. 1,000 pardons. But may I have a moment alone, if you please?
I think he deserves a moment to himself. It is a pretty sad tale after all.
Yes, love, I was happy. My sweet, sweet Scarlet. I love you still.
Now then, you were looking for a navigator, I believe, bound for Keelhaul Key.
Oh yeah.
Humph. If you think an old sea bomb like me is what you need, then let's shove off. Admiral Bobbery, yes! Alright, so we got Bobbery with us. Sweet. Now we have the navigator we need. The ship's in the harbor, I must inspect her before we leave. I shall meet you there. Alright, well, let's go to the harbor then. And now we're just about ready to shove off for Chapter 5 and explore Keelhaul Key, which is actually a pretty cool chapter. I don't really care about that stupid email. Jeez, man. It's so annoying that it knocks you off Yoshi like every time you get an email. Anyways, though, I think this is a good place to end off the video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.